I received a question today. How to be more interesting. Let's get it.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Welcome to the channel. My name is Suman Chatterjee. I'm a flow state coach, a flow state specialist, and I help you feel better and perform better. Today is Women's Day, and we're celebrating the yin, the Shakti, that energy. Not just within every woman, but feminine essence that is within you as well as a man. Let's replenish ourselves. Let's rest today. And let's allow ourselves to become creative. Okay? How to become more interesting. The best way to sum it up is to be more interested in another person. Okay? There are a couple of principles that you can follow. First one is to be a lifelong learner, to understand that your art is your whole lifetime. Okay, as Picasso would say. Your art is worth your lifetime. You have all of these experiences, these references of living. But a lot of you see, you're either oversharing that on social media, or you're not going deeper than that. It's a superficial sharing, or you're not even talking about it, you're not sharing it, you're not demonstrating it out into the world, okay? So there's gotta be this kind of demonstration that comes from a very genuine, pure place. Like I remember when I went to Doors, I was focusing on adding value, right? Not just taking pretty pictures and just kind of leaving it as it is, but how do you get to know me? How do you get to know my depth as a person, okay? First of all, you got to allow other people to do that and share their gifts and their value. So when you give them a pocket of time or a situation where you're giving them what I like to call 15 minutes of fame, right? Where you talk to them, you're praising them, you're very involved, you're very interested in what they have to say. And the most important gauging question for me, and this is something I discovered during my college days actually, from that point forward, I noticed that sometimes, depending on cultural context, or even if someone has a preconception or a judgment about you, or a rumor around you, whatever it is, they will still treat you in that specific way, in that pattern. So we are different in everybody's minds. What matters is what you think about you. This was my post today, okay? So start to understand that it doesn't matter what she thinks of you or he thinks of you, it's what you think of you that matters first. And then you become a listener. And the gauging question for you is, what excites you about life? What are you passionate about, okay? That question by itself, you can gauge a person's interest, okay? And it will click something in their brain where they allow themselves to just spill and spill and spill and spill and spill, okay? And it is your responsibility to hold that space for them and make them feel interesting and special. And that becomes a mirror for your frequency and energy, and then you remain interesting. What excites you about life? Oh, I'm really into, drawing. I've been obsessed with it ever since I was a kid. And, I would just do these little doodles on the sides of notebooks. And the teachers would get so annoyed at me. And you see what's happening now is this person is allowing themselves to reveal and express. And because it's linked to that passion, they're allowing that flood stream, the floodgates of the flow state are open. And it takes that curiosity, but the curiosity in combination with listening, deep listening, with the right questioning, right? But then the deep listening after the right questioning, and making them feel special. You take a selfie with them, you high five them, you're adding good energy. Try and look at people as characters in a book. You're just seeing them in that very moment, but understand that they had this entire timeline from when they were a baby, the time maybe they were a tween, then to a teenager, then to an adult. All that time right? There are these ads of the interesting man in the room, most interesting man in the planet, and it almost seems exaggerated, right? Like a kind of Chuck Norris jokes, if you ever heard of it. It's like they're so interesting that they gave themselves an awkward moment on purpose just to see what it was like, right? Like this kind of stuff. So you don't have to overburden yourself, right, with this ideal or this perfect self of the most interesting person, the most interesting man. Don't overwhelm yourself with that, but just assume it is. Assume you already are interesting. Assume that you're already handsome or beautiful. Assume that and then move with that energy. Okay? Assume it until it is so, or in my book TPM, I would say act it till you fact it. Fake it till you make it has died, and I've resurrected it through TPM into a method that actually works. That's kind of what saved me during college times. You constantly have endless opportunities and possibilities in these little gaps of time. However, you feel a resistance. You feel a sense of, that kind of an energy, okay? That, I don't know, that energy is preventing you from fully being that interesting person. Because what if you could do the thing and then reflect on it afterwards? Whoa, that was crazy. That was such a wild story, right? We did that thing. You remember that time when we were that, right? And so a lot of people prevent themselves from doing things outside of their comfort zone. So that would be my next piece of advice, is do things slightly outside the edge of your comfort zone. For instance, I started MMA. That was completely, of course it wasn't random because I was already perfecting my character to be an IMC fighting monk, a warrior shaman. That was my character a while back, but now actually doing it, I'm starting to learn so much, right? And it's kind of building on itself, the energy, right? This is what I'm starting to notice, is that to be an interesting person, you've got to understand the law of why people come back to you. Why do your exes come back to you? Why do friends who have left for a really long time, why do they suddenly show up? It's that quality of value, of that interest that they're showing. Genuine interest is linked to another person helping your survival on this planet, right? One, they see you doing really well. You post about getting into university or getting a new job or, getting a new car or whatever it is. And they see that value in that, hey, it's been so long, okay? Second thing, you got hot, right? All of a sudden you became attractive. You became sexier. Number 3, they genuinely realized that you are better. They've tested the waters out, right? They've dated other people perhaps, and no one compares to you. You're kind of irreplaceable, but you're also not easily replicable. Another person can have your outside appearance, but do they have the essence of your soul? So you training your soul with that expansiveness really impacts how interesting you are seen and how you are. Another thing, they see you with somebody new. They see you with somebody else, and they feel a sense of lack internally. And they feel like, in some sense, that they've lost you. So they're still trying to keep that connection alive, right? By starting a communication stream. So these laws of why someone comes back to you, either an ex or a friend or whatever, right, is directly applicable to how interesting you are, because it's the same kind of magnetic quality where you say, hey, you want to take a selfie with me? And giving them that much that they're cool enough to take a selfie with. You're already cool, but you're giving them that much. You're giving them the praise. Not giving them the praise like they're a celebrity and you're a fan. You're giving them a praise because you see that they fit the narrative of your storyline. Okay, this is powerful stuff, guys. So let's say that you're a game designer and you find that gamer girl for you. You appreciate that. Wait, you play RuneScape? Suddenly there's something going off in your mind, right, where you go, oh, I didn't expect this surprising quality, right? That generates actual interest, actual excitement. You get suddenly captivated by that. Now, you don't want this to go into a dark, manipulative energy, but when you can actually captivate using that core influence of like, hey, I know who I am, I know what I stand for, and I'm going on this path, would you like to join me? And it's not like, please come, please show up, I need you there. It wouldn't mean anything without you. Okay? Different energy. That's not the energy of interest. Energy of disinterest. Okay? Because it's taking energy, it's not giving. You see? Their feeling of safety and survival is associated with this other person, not with themselves. This is where this codependence sometimes takes over in people. That who am I without them? Who is my identity without this other person in it? But that doesn't make sense, my friends. It's just that your identity was forming around the time that you guys were hanging out together. Now it's time to reconfigure the identity that you have without anybody. The one where you were alone in the cringiest of your elements, in your own bed, no mascara on, sweatpants, maybe no pants, and you're just there. You're in your elements, I would say. Use your own kind of common sense with this, right? You don't want to wear no pants in a public venue. This is not what I'm saying, okay? I have to give a disclaimer because there's certain people out there who are, not wise enough to actually understand that someone telling them something on YouTube, like they immediately just go and follow and then, consequences of their actions. But by all the advice that I'm giving you on this channel, you have full responsibility for the actions that you take. You don't have to listen to anything that I say. But I've noticed certain patterns, and that's what you got to do when you're in the flow state. You got to be a pattern recognition software, which turns into a hardware. And if you integrate the idea of, hey, I'm so excited by myself, I'm so passionate about myself, you understand the energy equivalence of passion, and you can gift someone that on the other side, you've created this kind of social engagement link. And with that, you can then start to form a deeper connection with somebody. Understand that the small talk is almost like something to ease the sense of, okay, we're having a very genuine, intimate, trusting conversation together. It starts off very casual, very, very, very casual, okay? And that's okay. You both know this, right? And you can even joke about it along the process. Like, hey, this is the point where we're supposed to have some small talk, right? You are aware, you are self-aware, you're conscious, you understand social dynamics and the significance of talking with someone, right? And so that's what I'm really telling you is just train yourself. Make your life a social experiment. That's what I did my entire college time, is I made myself a social experiment. I tried on different clothing. I tried on different avatars and behaviors, and I was just simply looking for what works. And those years of me doing that formulated my method, which I later used. And I continue to create methods and patterns and techniques for myself because I know that that is what is going to bring me to the best results, to the most maximal results with the least amount of effort. Let's get it today. Upward Spiral gang, may we never be the same again. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button. You already know what it is. Let's go!